Here's a quick little guide on how to run these LED spotlights, and then I'll have some more details for your event tonight specifically, but first we're gonna go over just how to use these spotlights. When you first get in, you're gonna flip them on, and then you've got your two fader controls here. The one with the tape, on this light specifically, I don't think that one has it. This one has tape to indicate this is the brightness, so you can use this slider to control the brightness. The one to the right of it, you generally don't want to touch because this is the strobe one. It can get really crazy if you're not careful. So you want to just avoid this one. If you need to shut off the light at any time, you can fade it out, but the risk of hitting the strobe is fairly high. So you might just want to hit this standby button here and that'll just hard cut it. Most of the time, the colors you want, you're going to want 3200K, unless they ask for something else. This is just the closest to our like theatrical lighting. They might ask for plain white, but this one looks a little bit blue, like that. To me, that's just kind of ugly, so I keep it at 3200K. So once you've got that dialed in, I've got the beam already set up. I think this is a pretty good size and shape, but if you ever need to change it for any reason, you can use these sliders here. They sort of do the same thing, so I'm going to try to do this one-handed. You can see it's making the beam bigger, but the edges are harder now. So if you want to keep it bigger but soften the edges, you pull this front one forward. That's too big, and the edges are too hard, and you lose some intensity when you do that. So I'm going to try to zoom it back in and match the other one. There we go, we're at a good size. The easiest way to adjust just the size is this lever right on top. So you can just do that, make it tighter. This sometimes makes it bigger, but it's close to max right now. These little red flaps here are flags. We don't need these for any reason during this show, but you can always like push them in and it'll cut the bottom. So they are backwards. So if you pull this, or if you press this upper one, it will bring up a flag on the underside of the beam. Same deal for the sides here. I'm gonna press this one in on the right side, and you can see it closes from the left. You shouldn't need this, but in case you're ever using it for something where they just want a little accent light, that's one tool you can use to kind of shape your beam. So now, operating these actual lights, using them as follow spots, the key here is smooth motion. So what we want to do is keep two hands on the light pretty much at all times, and you're going to have to play like this little dance between the tightness knobs here. So these two control your vertical tilt, and this one controls your horizontal pan. So what you want to do is loosen these just enough that there's a little bit of tension, but not too much. And you just want to make sure it stays smooth while you move it. So I'm doing this one-handed now, and you can see if you move slowly, the horizontal tension's pretty good, and vertical is not bad either. But if you, I'm going to tighten it a little bit so you can see what that would look like. If you put too much tension on it, you'll be fighting the light and it'll just look shaky and unprofessional, and we don't want that. So I'm going to put my two hands on it, and now I'm fighting it. So you can see it kind of got shaky a little bit because I'm trying to fight that tension. So what you want to do, like I said, is just experiment with it a little bit and then get your tension settings just to the right level where it's not shaky, but it's easy to control and looks good. That is the essentials on how to run the lights. So I'll go over some details specific to your event tonight. So you are going to be running a drag show. I've already set out your uplights for you. We've got 4 orange uplights here. These will need torn down at the end of the night, but right here, this is going to be a DJ table, I assume. So you won't have to worry about any sort of audio unless they ask for a wireless mic. At the very top, you're going to want to chat with the event organizer, whoever's running it, run through maybe a rehearsal or just get a general idea of what kind of light movements they want, and just follow that to the best of your ability. We're going to have one of you over here, one of you over here. At the end of the night, you're going to want to shut these off. And I forgot to mention, you will have to turn on your motion sensor, or rather turn it off, and make sure these lights are set to wherever they want them. I assume pretty much off. They might want to throw on a red sky or something, Maybe a subtle red sky would look cool. And sometimes they like the left and right curtains here, just for a little bit of extra something. Shut down everything once you're done and turn the motion sensors back on. Take the uplights back to the AV closet, and then you're pretty much good to go. They don't have any projection. They don't need any sound unless they add a wireless mic or something, but you should be good. It should be a fairly straightforward event.